Hey there, it's Michelle. Hope everybody's had a good day. I'm just going to make a little video on triangulation with a narcissist. That's what they like to do. They like to triangulate you with people and make you feel small and unimportant. So I thought I might throw a few examples of that out there and talk about a couple of other things while I'm waiting on some hot water. I've had sort of a bad day. I'm having car issues, and I got stuck in traffic today, and I was late for work, and in my hot water, I didn't put the stopper in my bathtub, so I let my hot water run out. Now I have to wait for hot water again. It's just been one of those days. We all have them, right? So yeah, so I'm going to talk a little bit about triangulation and how a narcissist will do that when they come into your life. And, of course, you'll be love bombed as well. They'll do nice things for you. You're going to be so confused. That's where the triangulation comes in. It's pretty confusing when somebody's all into you and spending all their time with you, but at the same time, they're triangulating you with everything from the television to the phone to their friends to their family, other women, their vehicles, their dog, everything. So, yeah, I think he, the first person he triangulated me with was his best friend. He would just, rave about how great he was and how he loved spending time with him, and they had a lot of sentimental things going on, and, just how important he was. They would hide a body together. They were just super, super close, and they did a lot of things together, which, didn't really bother me too bad, and we had just started dating at this time, so, I didn't find it too abnormal for a man to be sort of into his best friend, but it just always made me feel like second best. So, that's how they triangulate you. They'll just make you feel small compared to anything. Like I said, it could be the phone, it could be an automobile, it could be anything or anybody. They'll do it with their family, they'll do it with their friends, they'll do it with other women. You'll feel like the third wheel in the relationship. You'll know when you're being triangulated. You'll feel like the third wheel when you're supposed to be just number 2 or number 1 even. So, yeah. The best friend, he was, omnipotent to him, like a god, and they did a lot of things together, a lot of sentimental everything, they would go rock climbing together, they would, just do a lot of things together, which, is fine. Everybody should have a best friend and enjoy their friend time, But when you're, making your girlfriend feel small compared to him, that's another thing. So, it'd be just stupid things like a birthday or something. Our birthdays were in the same month, the best friend and mine. So the narcissist told me that he didn't do birthday cards. So, my birthday came and went. Of course, I didn't get a card. I think I got something cheap off of eBay, like a used pair of shoes or something like that, and maybe taken out to a restaurant that might have a drive-through. So, that was my birthday, which is fine. No big deal, whatever. And, I just wanted to spend it with him. But, so then the best friend's birthday comes up, and we have to go shopping for a birthday card. After I've been told that, I don't do birthday cards. So, that's just a little way to triangulate and make you feel small and unimportant. Of course he does birthday cards. He just is not going to do birthday cards for you, okay? So, just a little hurtful thing. And those little hurtful things all the time, they all add up, and, it's stressful. And you're triangulated with, just the phone in general, it being locked. He had 2 phones, actually, and, we'd be sitting here at night, looking at the phone or something, and a text would come across from a woman that I didn't know, and he would claim would be an ex or something, and she would know everything that was going on in our relationship. I would see long paragraphs, and ask him about it. And I even asked him one time, why are you telling this person all about our personal relationship? And I never got a straight answer. And I think I even got upset and made him leave. Because, yeah, it's very upsetting, to see somebody that you don't know knowing your personal business. So, just triangulation, perfect example. They like to see you jealous. They like to see you upset. So, or with the television, even that I would feel, less than. Or the vehicles, and of course his family. His family comes first. They're the most important thing in his life. I was told that over and over and over again, which, of course your family's the most important thing in your life. Your girlfriend should be pretty important too, but, they don't make it out to be that way. They'll just confuse you by buying you stuff and spending all their spare time with you and just, I don't know, total confusion. Like I said, with all that triangulation, they're pushing your boundaries. You're in uncomfortable situations. You're persuaded to do things you don't want to do. And you're triangulated all at the same time can be very, very, very stressful and confusing and just hard on you. So, yeah, that's just a few ways that they triangulate. Let's see. And they'll treat others really well. And that's the way they triangulate too. They'll treat strangers better than they treat you, or, they'll make sure they go out of their way to help people. They look like really good, responsible people on the outside. That's all everybody else sees. And you see the lying, the stealing, the cheating, the manipulation, the triangulation. You're seeing all this, and everybody else sees them as a good person, because they are doing good things for people. They don't know about the rest. Only you do, because you're close to them. And they put on an act for everybody, including their family. So, that's a few ways to triangulate. And I'm going to talk a little bit about sleeping and eating with a narcissist, okay? First of all, they don't let you sleep. They love to sleep deprive you. I don't know what it is about that, but they don't like it when you sleep. And if you finally do get to sleep, and maybe they actually go to sleep too, which they're very, very high-strung people, and I don't know how they keep so high-strung and active on very, very little sleep, because he just didn't sleep that much. And if we ever did fall asleep together, which was rare if he did come to bed, I've woken up 2 or 3 times with his hand on my throat. Just not forcefully, not hard, just him actually asleep, hand on my throat. And I have to say, that was quite disturbing the first time. And I thought, and here I am thinking, well, maybe this is his way of showing affection. I don't know, but it was just kind of freaky to have, to wake up and somebody's got their hand on your throat and they're totally asleep. So that's a little bit about sleeping with an narc. When you do ever get any sleep, it's, still disturbing. Okay, and eating. He would eat so fast. And he told me, we would sit down and eat a meal and he's done in less than 5 minutes. And he said that he had gotten this from prison, where they only give you a certain amount of time to eat your food, and it just sort of stuck with him. So, we'd be at a restaurant or something, and I'd take 2 bites of my food, and he's done. And then I feel like I had to rush, and gulp my food down in a hurry so we could get the hell out of there, because he's ready to go. So, just another little interesting thing. It's all the way to the sleeping, the eating, everything is just, it's different. And since we're talking about everything being so different, I might as well just get into the sex part a little bit with a narcissist, because it's different. That's for sure. It's unlike anything else I ever experienced. And people like to call it a trauma bond, because this is what gets you addicted to a narcissist. And they do this on purpose. That's why they force sex so fast. They're not forcing it, but, they're pushing it, your boundaries to have sex quick. Like I said, first date. So, it's cold and unemotional, very cold and unemotional. There's no hardly kissing, there's no cuddling, it's quiet, just emotionless, just no affection. It's porn like. They're good at it because they're doing it with multiple people all the time. So yeah, they're going to be good at it. And it's very dangerous to be intimate with a narcissist because narcissists carry diseases and they will not tell you. And, that's just, they don't have a conscience. They don't think about your body. They don't care about your body. They'll have knowledge and they'll still not tell you. It's very robot-like. They're like a robot. I mean, you might as well be with a robot because they don't have any love or emotion. So yeah, they sort of are like a robot. I remember one time he even went to his car to get an extra sex toy. I mean, who does that? We were, this was at a time when he was just coming over here using me, and I was dumb enough to let him, and he's carrying around sex toys in his car, and I'm just thinking, wow, who does that? Red flag. He's carrying them around in the car, like he's got to pass them out. I think he even gave one to his daughter. I think he told me that. Yes, he told me that he gave one to his daughter. So, who does that? He does. Narcissists do. You wouldn't get any, emotional intimacy, cuddling afterwards. I think during the love bombing stage when he was, pretty much we were, I thought he was into me. He was doing all these nice things. And I pretty much forced it on him. I was like, hey, at least act like you care when you're finished. But, okay, we'd lay there and we'd cuddle a little bit because he knew this is what I wanted. But at the same time, he would talk about other women and compare me to other women. Talking about, different sex acts with them and his experiences with other women and some of the girlfriends he's been with and why it didn't work out. And, this is supposed to be our intimate time. This is our pillow talk. And it was always just comparing me to other women. So, I kind of got tired of that, and I'm just like, well, fuck it, just, when we're done, we're done. Forget the pillow talk because I don't want to be insulted. No intimacy, none whatsoever, none. And they push your boundaries in sex too. They want you to do things that sometimes you've never done before. They'll push your boundaries in every way possible. They offer it up like a god, like they're doing you a favor. That can be a major turnoff when somebody's, offering it up like they're doing you a favor. It's not, that they find you so attractive and, they're making you feel good about yourself. It's, you have to chase after them and they're doing you a favor. But at the same time, they're using you for a masturbation tool. Because that's what you feel like. A masturbation tool. You don't feel like a human being when you're having sex with a narc. They make it inhumane. And they'll have sex with anybody that'll give them attention. Like I said, I don't think there would be anybody he would turn down if they were offered up. They don't care if you're man, you're woman. They don't care your age. They don't care if you're somebody's wife, husband, family member, your own family member. They just don't care. They really don't care. I remember him even discussing at one point how he had sex with one of his cousins that he went to a wedding with. But, he was adopted, so they weren't blood relatives, so that made it fine. I don't think that makes it fine. I think it makes it kind of sick. And then he went on to say how she got fat and unattractive, and next time that, she hit on him, he wouldn't have anything to do with her. Just a little narc history there. So, a little bit about the sex, it's cold and emotionless. If you like, to, do that sort of thing in a porn-like way and it doesn't mean anything, well then sure, you'd be fine with a narcissist. But yeah, they're very dangerous like that. You have to be very careful with these narcissists. They just don't care about you. They just don't. And you know, they hate special occasions, the birthdays. Like I said, he didn't do the cards or anything, but he did it for the family and the best friend, you know. And you know, when Christmas would come around, or you know, the holidays or whatever, it just would they would just seem to ruin them. I mean, for me anyway. And it would get to the point where you get attuned to this, you know, and a holiday would be around the corner and you're thinking, damn, I don't want to go through this shit again. I don't want to be triangulated and made to feel small while everybody else is, you know, uplifted and important. I'm just going to, you know, back off for the holiday, you know, and then we'd break up because, you know, you just get tired of the shit. You just get tired of it. So, yeah, that's a little bit about the triangulation and the sex. Like I said, you know, and you get addicted to the sex. That's the way that one of the ways that they drag you in, and you get addicted to them because to you, that's the only way that you're getting any affection at all from a narcissist. They're not very loving kind of people, so you think, well, you know, at least they're having sex with you, so, you know, they have to care for you somehow. At least that's what you think in your mind, because to a woman, sex is an intimate act, you know. It's not just an act. Like to a narcissist, it's just an act. To most women, you know, it involves feelings, you know, and intimacy, but not to a narcissist. So you get addicted to that because it's just natural to, when you're having this intimate experience with somebody, to get attached to them. It's an enmeshment, you know. They call it a trauma bond, because with a narcissist, it's traumatizing to give love and not receive it back, and it becomes a trauma bond because you're so close with this person and you're having sex, you know, on a constant basis. So that's a little bit about that, you know. And then when you go through the discard, you miss it, and you have to let go of that too. And then you feel like a damaged person. You can't just go to another relationship like they do, because you are damaged in a lot of ways. And it's just not healthy to go to another relationship. I don't know when I'll be ready for one, if ever. So yeah, that's the way they suck you in, basically, you know. They know the sex is good, and they know it's going to be addictive, and that's about the only affection you're going to get out of a narcissist. So you're just going to, you know, get addicted to it. And you got to just let it go, just like you let them go, because it's no good for you. It's not good. You know, we're living in the days now where, you know, narcissism is just rampant, and we're seeing Bill Cosby being exposed for rape. You know, 35 years ago, he's drugging adolescent women and raping them, you know, and he's on the Bill Cosby show being America's dad with family values, you know. 35 years later, it comes out that he's a rapist. You know, and he's doing time for it. So that just tells you that, you know, I'm not saying he's a narcissist, but he sure has narcissistic tendencies to be able to manipulate people and get away with that for so long, for 35 years, to have that power over people. So more than likely, he probably is a narcissist. We definitely know he's a rapist anyway. So, yeah, and then we have the Chris Watts killing of his wife and babies, you know, just for selfish reasons, just because, you know, he's bored and he didn't want this life anymore, and he knew that probably it was going to affect his life. Yeah, he's got children. He's going to have to pay child support and probably have, you know, share custody, and, you know, he's wanting to go on with a new life with somebody else. Well, you know, he just kills his wife and babies and has no remorse and shows absolutely no emotion whatsoever. How can you do that? I mean, only a narcissist, because they have no love. They show no emotion. But on the outside, to the outside world, they look normal, because you see all these videos they have of his wife on Facebook, with him included, and they just look like a normal, happy family. And it's scary. Very, very scary. I mean, just no remorse, no emotion whatsoever, knowing that his kids are dead and his pregnant wife too. And it makes it just an alarming time right now, just sort of alarming to me. That's why I started, researching the narcissism and doing these videos, because, I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what. And I think actually I researched not having any empathy, and that's what came up was narcissism. And I left a video in my playlist. It's Ann Barnhart, and it's her must-see final video about diabolical narcissism. Diabolical in the aspect of being evil. She really, really is not politically correct at all. So, I'll just tell you that right now. And it is a 2-hour video, but I did find it very educational about narcissists. It really explains the history, the politics, the behavior, and the evil origin of it in great detail. Because a lot of people do believe it's demonic. I strongly believe it is. There's no other explanation for it. It's not an illness. It might be a personality disorder, but it's not an illness that can be treated, not even with therapy. So, and she goes, like I said, in great detail about, the diabolical narcissism and its history. But I don't believe, I don't agree with her on everything she has to say either. She is, I guess, Catholic, from what the video shows, and she believes that their salvation is only in the Catholic Church, and I believe that salvation is only in the blood of Jesus Christ. So I just thought I'd put that out there, because I do not agree with her on that. But she goes into depth about the diabolical narcissism, and it all just rings true. She can quote, there's scriptures in the Bible she points out. I mean, the history right here in the United States, especially in the political world, it's kind of mind-blowing, and it's scary. So anyway, I've rambled on again. I think maybe I'll have some hot water now, I hope. So I hope everybody has a good evening, and then I'm going to get into my next video, the necessary anger, and a little bit about the revenge. I have a lot of work to do on that one still, so... I hope everybody has a good night. Bye.